June 8th, 2023 afternoon. Standing on the driveway looking northeast across the crevice garden area towards the house. You can see the expedient ditch I dug a month and a half ago just to get water away from the house. That should be fairly easy to adjust and relocate based on the colored sketch made on the air photo a week or so ago. And basically, obviously, it needs to start up under, at the base of the house, centered on those windows underneath that elevated deck, and then move out. But it's going to be more this direction and kind of sinewy, following the base of the crevice garden fingers. One finger coming out from the retaining wall, and then another one over here. So this ditch will be moved and turned into a swale with less steep sides, and this pretty close to the diagram. It'll come out and curve around here, and then curve around here, and then kind of end up close to this little small stand of trees over here. So let's walk through the crevice garden area and do a close-up, take a close-up look at these retaining walls, and then we're going to have some irrigation we're going to need to adjust. So, and then looking at topography and maybe swale location. So it needs to, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Luckily, my skid loader is pretty nimble, but I need to have this whole area sloping away with an adequate slope away from the house, and it'll be wide, the whole width here between retaining wall and retaining wall, and then it will probably narrow down. I'm going to step underneath the elevated deck with the windows from the lower level right behind me, and it will narrow down a little bit. And then again, the existing drainage ditch goes over here. I'll relocate the swale to curve around and then end up kind of down by that meadow area, by that small stand of trees. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but the more I think about it, the more it's definitely doable. You can see that this is the lowest part. The ground does slope up a little bit right here, which I'll be working against topography a little bit with a relocated swale, but it should be doable, especially if I jump on it within the next week or so, while the ground is probably moist, more moist and moist deep than we usually see in 15-20 years. So I'm going to take advantage of this unusual rainfall we've had. Sure makes it easier with a skid steer. So we're going to continue taking a look at that. Let's take a look at the retaining walls. Here's the one of interest. This is the retaining wall. That's the spruce on the corner of our house that we are going to, there's the triangle. We will have crevice garden stones that will basically cover this entire retaining wall up slightly over the top, and then that will be the main part of our crevice garden tongue that extends out this way. You can see I have existing irrigation sprinkler lines in here. I think the line goes right along there, and I don't want to bury that underneath the rocks, so I'll need to relocate that line. This sprinkler and that sprinkler, those are for a different zone. They water the corner spruce and some of the aspen that are over there. So they're not related to the crevice garden, but they are going to be in the way. That shouldn't be a problem. So there's that. Here's the another view of the retaining wall on the other side. We may explore putting a small pile of crevice garden stones maybe up against this portion of the wall. Again, we need to keep in mind that there's going to be stairs going down here. This deck, we're going to somehow close off the bottom of this deck. It's kind of an eyesore underneath there, and rabbits and other varmints make their homes underneath there, which is inconvenient. So that's it for this video. I may do one more.